Colombia, 13 people have been killed in a landslide and an illegal gold mine. According to local media, 7 others were injured during the incident. It's understood the landslide was triggered by an explosion inside the mine. Rescue efforts were hampered by dangerous instability of the earth at the site. Accidents at mines in Colombia, particularly in unregulated work environments, are frequent. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng tomorrow, lows of between 8 and 13 degrees and highs of between 27 and 28. Mongi Ziko Ko, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. This September,
every fun side quest with the cousins and main mission with the crew
lead to one main stage. Joburg's biggest family day out,
where you are the main act.
Hello, Joburg!
947 Joburg Day is happening on Saturday, 5 September.
And this spring, everyone's a headliner, including you.
And the best lineup in SA. Lord Cares, Lockenville,
Sun El Musician,
DJ
Zinke,
Will Lindley, and more.
It's made for Joburg,
Starring Joburg and featuring all the best songs, experiences,
and people that you love.
947 Joburg Day, Saturday, 5 September.
Crocodile Creek Polo Club. Get your tickets now
At primemediaplus.com.
Comfort ends where Marawa Sports Worldwide begins.
Go to work.
No back pass. I spoke to a man who's highly respected.
He became an animal and nobody could catch him.
I am very, very scared.
And this time he stinks!
They putting on a show.
And you have to stop playing games because we are not in the business of playing games.
Can you please try to summarize it?
I'm finishing, Chief. I'm Justice.
I'm not Chief, please.
Sorry, but it's just that's how we address an elder in Cape Town. Sorry, Commissioner.
And they will and they'll score! What an electric start from the Chicago Fire! They lead and DJ Jean has done it!
People cannot come here and play games and filibuster and obfuscate. If you are asked a question, you answer it, and you answer it truthfully.
Delve into so much about TS Galaxy with their president, Tim Suazi, who is in studio. I think they wanted to know about your financial reports, your financial standings, which require, financial statements.
They came to ask about me, Tell us your investments. Where does your money come from? So as to ensure that clubs are not being run through illicit means, more especially from a financial point of view.
Which one then do you declare in front of, FIFA? Because you can either say you're a lawyer, of which you are. You can either say you're a football club owner.
Otherwise, the 3 that you've mentioned, that's true, obviously.
Who does he support between Danny and Zungu? Have you thought of that? The next president of SAFA?
I'll be more swayed on Mr. Zungu's side. You saw what happened to African football when a captain of the industry took over in the form of Dr. Patrice Motsepe. And he generally, is a quality person. I have no doubt about it. So nothing against Mr. Jordan. I think he has run his mile and has achieved a lot to the best of his ability. We admire his work. If I were to call for a fresh blood and I'm given a choice between the two, definitely Zungu.
And you must behave yourself. You are 100% right, Chief. And
I said to you, I'm not Chief, please. Please just try to drum that into your head. I'm not Chief.
Sorry, Commissioner.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live.
All right, so Chief, on top of our minds today is going to be the women's game. And of course, Coach Sudesh is in studio live. It's an exciting show. It's an exciting Thursday. We've also got extra time coming up after 7 o'clock. So everything for everybody tonight, plus winning Marawa Sports Worldwide. It is proudly brought to you by Hollywood Beds.
Let's go!
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Boom FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
He's in a league of his own.
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And it goes through to the boundary.
This is where sport breaks, bends, and gets told straight.
All of us there have our smallanyana skeletons.
Hashtag MSW on 947, Boom FM, Rise FM and Sowetan Live.
Or do they say Buddha in Cape Town? Hey, whichever one it is, guys, welcome to the show. Buddha. Well, I'm looking at the road to Brazil 2027, and I'm just thinking, wow, it just got a whole lot more interesting. Banyana know exactly what is at stake. And now the route, though, to the FIFA Women's World Cup has taken shape. Where does this leave South Africa? Well, they've been drawn into the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027 playoff tournament prelim phase. And that's going to be alongside Ghana, Ecuador, Uzbekistan, Papua New Guinea, and Chinese Taipei. Now, 3 matches, 3 opponents, 1 mission. Finish in the top 2. Keep the dream alive for Brazil. And listen to the schedule. So Chinese Taipei versus South Africa opens the campaign. Then South Africa takes on Ecuador before potentially a decisive final clash against Uzbekistan. Now the matches are going to be played between the 24th of November and the 5th of December, 2026. Wow. And with the top 2 teams advancing now to the final playoff phase in February 2027, and who better to unpack the draw, the fixtures, the challenge that lies ahead. And just mentioning those dates, I'm thinking, how are they going to play virtually? I have no idea. So the challenge ahead now, as Banyana must get right, then the woman who has managed to carry South Africa's hopes to the greatest heights in the history of the women's game, I guess she is a champion. I guess she is a trailblazer, a football visionary, and also the architect of Banyana's side that continues to make history. I hope she's had a bit of a break since getting back from Morocco. Dr. Desiree Ellis, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Rob. What break? There's no break.
Only if you're eating a chocolate called Kit Kat, eh?
Probably yes.
Oh, man. You got back and what happened is because I would have imagined maybe 1 or 2 days off. Did you manage that? Because it was such a high-stakes tournament up there in Morocco.
Not really, Rob. Didn't really take any time off, but sort of worked from home. Was waiting anxiously for the draw. Of course, we know who we're playing in October. We're playing Madagascar in Olympic qualifier. That becomes a preparation as well for these games. And now that the draw is out, now we know who we're playing. The venue has not been given yet, but it will definitely be at one venue where all the games will take place.
And then when you shape it all, as I mentioned the dates though, because I mean, this is news that we're sharing with South Africans to get an idea of how heavily packed the schedule is going to be. And I just flippantly said, I don't know how you're going to manage all of that in such a short space of time and whether you're going to be playing this virtually. How are you going to manage it?
Look, Rob, the November-December window is a three-match window. It is a 3-match window. The length of the window is a 3-match window. So I suppose that was the best time to play it because October is a 2-match window, and I think February, when the next round is the final round, is also a 3-match window. So they look at all of those and when they can play, because it also needs to be time in between. Possibly if there's really bad weather for some reason, the games can't take place, or because it does happen. So they've gone to that 3-match window, and there's not a lot of time in between. If you look at it, it's probably 2 days into each game that you play, because everybody plays on match day 1, and everybody plays on match day 2, and of course everybody plays on match day 3.
Let's look at the draw firstly. I mean, is this the draw that you are happy with personally, or do you believe that there are no easy opponents at this stage of the World Cup qualification?
Look, we knew that we were going to get Ecuador out of pot 3 because we couldn't play Ghana. we obviously knew we were not going to get Papua New Guinea because they were in our pot. So it was just a matter of who do we play first, who do we play second, and who do we play third. That's how I looked at it. And it came out exactly like that because they had 3 pots. And ourselves and Papua New Guinea was in 1 pot. So there's no way that we were going to play each other, probably. So the first game against Chinese Taipei, ranked number 40 in the world. The second one against Ecuador, ranked number 61 in the world. And the third one against Uzbekistan, ranked number 51 in the world.
How much do we know about Chinese Taipei? I mean, and also how important is it to get it off to a winning start in a tournament where literally every point, you could prove that to be very, very decisive?
Rob, we spoke about during the WAFCON, we spoke about there's no margin for error. There's no margin for error. Yeah, definitely. There's no margin for error here. You don't win your first game, you're gone. That's it. There's no trying to get back, because if you look at 3 games, you probably have to win 2 and possibly can draw the third one. But your first one you have to win. We know a bit of Uzbekistan. We played them in 2023. That's 3 years ago. They lost in the quarterfinal at the Asian Cup as a qualifier for the World Cup. They lost to China, and then they played a World Cup promotion match against North Korea, and they lost that. So that's why they're now currently in the playoffs with us, because they lost that match. So we know a little bit about them. They've got some games coming up in September. It's the Asian Games. So we'll probably be able to get up-to-date footage of them in September to be able to have a look at. They play Vietnam, they play Thailand, and they play Japan in the group matches in September. So there's an opportunity for us to have a look at them during that time as well.
Well, I guess there's the difficulty here is that these aren't really nations that you have access to almost every time. Like your top nations, you can just go on the YouTube channel, you can find their games, which makes your prep quite difficult. How much more of the technical team do you then lean on to say, guys, let's gather the information, let's see what Ecuador is all about, although probably we know more about them than we would about maybe, say, Chinese Taipei, for example. What do we know about their style, their challenges, what you expect from them, etc.?
Of course, here's where the analysts come into play. They obviously have contacts, with other analysts, and sometimes analysts ask for footage, and you say, okay, if you give us footage of that team, we'll give you then we'll give you footage of this team. So that's how it goes in this world. You build up a connection, a relationship with analysts of other teams, and that's how you get footage of opponents. Ecuador, on the other hand, played they call it the Nations League in CONMEBOL for the World Cup qualifiers, and they ended 4th, along with Venezuela ended 3rd, who's coming in the next round. So that is why they're in the playoff, because they ended 3rd. So they lost to Paraguay, they beat Peru, they beat Chile, they lost to Argentina during that Nations League, and that's why Ecuador is in the playoffs. I haven't seen any upcoming fixtures of theirs, and this Nation League was in December, Rob, so it's a while back, but we'll just have to do our homework.
Yeah, because like we spoke, let's say over a week ago when you were still in Morocco, and we're just talking about the high stakes game that this is, and we might say it's a difficult sort of schedule, or it's a difficult way of qualification. But to put it plainly, and I know you mentioned it earlier on, when they say that the top 2 do advance, I mean, does that kind of change the way that you approach these games? I mean, do you have to play for those ultimate wins rather than simply managing a tournament? Because this isn't really a tournament.
No, it's not a tournament. You're playing 3 games, Rob. And at the end of the day, when all these games are done, you have to be top with points. Obviously, like things go probably head to head. Haven't really looked at the rules that far, but you have to. I mean, if you win your 3 games, then there's no head to head. There's no goal difference. There's nothing of that comes into play. So your first game that you play becomes very, very important, because otherwise you're chasing and then you're looking at other teams. Who's going to beat this team? Who's going to beat that team? So your first game against Chinese Taipei, and I mean, people might say Chinese Taipei, but when you look at their results, I mean, they lost 2-0 to China, and then they played in some championship in final in June, and they lost 5-0 to Korea Republic. So they look like they're a decent side, and I mean they wouldn't be here if they were not. They just failed to qualify for directly, lost in the quarterfinals like us, and that's why they're in this position with Chinese Taipei. Ecuador, on the other hand, they ended fourth in the Nations League, and then Venezuela ended third, and that meant that they had to go directly into this playoff. There was no playoff matches for them. They had to go directly in, and Uzbekistan the same. They had the Asian Cup as well. They lost to Korea, the World Cup promotion match. They lost that match to Philippines, and that's why they're here, playing us. And then, they also play the Asian games in September. They play Philippines, China, and Hong Kong. So we'll be able to see some games of them. I mean, Japan's games are regularly on YouTube and stuff, along with China, because those are the top teams. So, we know a little bit of them. I'm sure the analyst is already busy working.
Sure. I mean, working overtime, though. You would have taken a couple of pointers from the WAFCON, Des. You would have taken a few disappointments and knocks, and that's why you find yourselves in this position. But when you dust that off and you put it aside and you say, okay, based on what let you down in Morocco, if you had to just summarize that, what would you summarize it to be?
Look, Rob, in the first two games or so, we defended very poorly. The goals we conceded was uncharacteristic of us. Also, the chances we created, I mean, a cross comes in, it's just a tap in and you don't score. Those are the two areas, because, as I said, we're always going to create opportunities. It's about finishing those opportunities and making better decisions, that probably didn't get us where we wanted to be. So that's something that we've got to work on. We have some time. Like I say, we play the Olympic qualifiers in September. We'll be working a lot on that as well, to make sure that when we get to November, that we are ready for that, because it's about putting the ball in the back of the net, and it's about keeping a clean sheet. And as the tournament went on, I thought we became stingy in terms of keeping clean sheets and got a lot more shots on target. And I think that has got to improve.
Would you believe, though, that the gap between, let's say, WAFCON competition versus now where you are with these prelims, the gap will be bigger, wider? How do you assess it?
Look, Rob, you can't really judge it like that. But then when you look at results against teams like North Korea, like China, those results, like you look at it and you see, yes, Uzbekistan lost 6-0 to Korea Republic, right? But on the other hand, you look at China, lost 2-0 to China, lost 4-0 to North Korea, lost 5-3 to Korea Republic. So some of the games are big scores, but some of the games are very, very tight. You look at Ecuador, lost 1-0 to Argentina, beat Chile 2-1, who went to the 2019 World Cup. Beat Peru, lost 2-0 to Paraguay. So the scorelines are very, very close. So you cannot say who's Chinese Taipei. They're better ranked than us at the moment. They're ranked number 40. And there's obviously a reason for that, You look at Ecuador. Ecuador's in a tough Nations League, along with Argentina, etc. You look at them and you say to yourself, lost narrowly to Argentina, beat Chile, was at the World Cup. So these are teams that you can't look at the name and think, who are they? You got to make sure that you get your stuff right, and got to make sure that you take every game. This is, in other words, what I'm trying to say, we're playing 3 finals. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That is the approach of 3 finals.
No, I fully agree with you. And that's why, as a parting shot, Des, though, and you got to look at the psyche of the players and try and find out what their thinking is. And I would say that with Brazil 2027 being a reality and us having a massive task here, I mean, would you give this particular generation another opportunity to make history? I mean, do you feel that this team has another level to reach?
Look, Rob, you look at the game against Morocco, much better performance. It's almost like we played a tournament matches, but peaked a little bit too late, if you look at it. Against Nigeria, probably the best performance that we had during the tournament. So this team can play. We need to tweak a few things here. Some players probably coming back from injury. I can't say if the squad will look the same. It's going to be a whole season of football. Mamelodi Sundowns currently at the Champions League. You have a look at players performing there as well that maybe was not part of the squad. And you have a whole season to look at players. We're just touching wood that there's no injuries. You also have your international players now going into season. And by the time that competition, the playoff comes along, they would have played a lot of matches in season. So a lot of things can change. More match fitness because your season will be done. Players that didn't make it will be raising their hands. So you cannot say the squad will look the same. You cannot say you're going to keep the same players because there's always changes here and there. And we have to make sure that we get that right, Rob.
All right. Wishing you everything of the best. Des will keep in touch with you as we always do to inform all the Banyana lovers here in South Africa and elsewhere around the world. Thank you so much and welcome back home.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
Appreciate it. That's Dr. Desiree Ellis, Banyana coach, chatting to us because, as you know, FIFA Women's World Cup has taken a bit of shape, and we all know about the World Cup 2027 playoff tournament, the prelim phase. Hey, every game, as she rightfully says, is a final.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time.
#MSW. New shape, new joy. Say hello to the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 with a wide immersive screen, folds when you're on the move, and create without limits with Galaxy AI. Get it now from 1599 per month for 36 months on MTN Yellow Plans Deluxe, or pay even less when you trade in your old device. Sign up or upgrade now and get up to 1,500 Rands worth of accessories and more. T's and C's apply. Visit an MTN store now. MTN.
Durban is ready. Southern Africa is coming together. This August, South Africa proudly hosts the 46th SADC Summit in Durban, bringing together leaders united by a shared vision of regional cooperation, industrialization, economic integration, and sustainable development. When we work as one, trade flourishes, investment grows, jobs are created, and families enjoy opportunities. The 46th SADC Summit. One region, one people, one vision, shared prosperity.
You know a story like hers, a young hustler with a big dream. Will she get the money to build her salon empire? You don't have to wait months to find out. Deal or No Deal South Africa is where lives can change fast. R1 or R250,000, everything could change. Find out now. So don't miss Deal or No Deal every weekday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC2.
Lotto Stars, licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Pull into Astron Energy with the sounds you've gotten used to. And drive out with a sound you can't get enough of. Fill up with 600 Rand or more and stand a chance to win one of 3 Golf 8 GTIs. T's and C's apply. Astron Energy, South Africa's next biggest fuel brand.
The new MGHS with up to 35,000 Rand trade-in assistance. The premium SUV you've been waiting for, now within reach. More presence, more performance, more room for the whole family, and more tech to keep you connected and safe. Visit your nearest MG dealer or book a test drive at mgmotor.co.za. MG. Find your more. Trade-in assistance and finance subject to approval. Terms and conditions apply.
Everybody wants you to rent from them, but no one wants to meet you halfway. Until now. Sani Sixt Rent-A-Car introduces zero holding deposit to car rental. The first to cut you some serious slack. You pay zero holding deposit when you book selected vehicles. Skip the holding deposit and get straight into your rental. Let your money travel with you and enjoy the zero deposit convenience. Rent Sani Sixt. It's not just car rental, it's freedom from the hold. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Delve into so much about TS Galaxy with their president, Tim Suazi, who is in studio. The coaches of the national teams don't take a TS Galaxy seriously and the kind of players that you churn out.
Not much is being done really in looking for players. I'd never seen Hugo Bruce set out matches in Bombela, but I've seen him never ever, or even his assistant. At some point I felt like I could assemble another national team that could beat what Bruce had assembled for the World Cup. Honestly, yes, we've got players. Clubs like Skukune do have players. At Amazula could pick up a player. Also at Richards Bay, I could pick up a player. I know which players exactly at what club, for no doubt about it.
Based on what you're saying that if a player does not have noise around him, he is not considered a possibility for the national team.
Absolutely. Identity of the noisemaker also matters. Depriving our country, certain and other human beings, players, deserving players, the opportunity.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Evening, Rob. It's Chelsea, Pinetown, Durban. Yeah, I don't understand why they changed the venue for Kaiser Chiefs versus Richards Bay next week, Wednesday. Do these people consider our safety when they make those decisions? Because there you go. Imagine going to Wamashu in the evening for a football game, knowing very well that Wamashu is a very dangerous, one of the dangerous townships. Can what happened to the Moses Mapida Stadium? Hey, my daughter.
Well, it's a good question. All I can tell you, if you're wondering what he is talking about, is that this afternoon we had a press release that came through from Richards Bay Football Club. It says Richards Bay Football Club would like to inform the supporters and media houses about the change of venue for a match against Kaizer Chiefs. Now, this match was supposed to take place at the Moses Mabhida Stadium on the 26th of August, but due to unforeseen circumstances, the new confirmed venue is Princess Makoko Stadium, Kwamashu, in Durban. We would like to apologize for any inconvenience that would occur due to this, but the matter is beyond our control. I think with matters like this, I thank Richards Bay for informing the public about the change of venue, which is an obvious thing. Otherwise, everyone is going to go to Moses and find that there is no football being played. But there are just also certain things that when you give a press release, that you give as much information as possible so that we don't get somebody like that, sending a voice note and saying, oh, what about our safety at that time of the day or evening? It's not safe. In South Africa, I guess there's no place that's safe, but I also hear what he is saying. But what I also don't like to see are these due to unforeseen circumstances. I suppose what we can't foresee is that later tonight at 8:30, there might be a thunderstorm. There might be lightning. Not everybody looks at the weather forecast and determines that. But what are these unforeseen circumstances? Because now, if the game is on the 26th and it's the 20th now, then those unforeseen circumstances can be shared with the public to say, I don't know, the scaffolding in the rebuilding process collapsed or whatever. Let the people know, just give them some form of detail of what these unforeseen circumstances are. And I'm sure they'll be very forgiving for them. And they say they'd like to apologize, which is great. It's a matter which is beyond their control, and I believe them. But why is it beyond their control? What is happening with Moses Mabhida? Because there's a greater resurgence now of the Hollywood Bets at Kings Park Stadium to host games. So I don't know, maybe somebody who's listening, who's part and parcel of Richards Bay would like to give us more detail. The show ends at 7 o'clock and you've got all the time to let us know so that we can let the people know. It's not for our indulgence, it's for the indulgence of the people that follow the game of football. Well, somebody that follows the game of football, hey, I suppose from the shadows of the technical area to the brighter stage on African women's football soil. Now, we all watched the Malawi Scorchers. They've rewritten their own history. And so has he. They arrived at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations as debutants. They leave as Africa's runners-up. And more importantly, unlike what we were chatting to Coach Desiree about, they are FIFA Women's World Cup qualifiers. So they through. And behind that remarkable transformation was a deliberate focus on preparation. I would imagine professionalism as well, discipline, creating a high-performance culture. And there was a South African who joined the Malawi technical team shortly before the tournament, played a significant role in that journey as well. He is a man who's believed, and as we've spoken to him many a time, and believes that, success isn't accidental. It is something that is engineered through planning, science, discipline, unified vision. He also helped to introduce a methodology that I'm going to talk to him about because there's a lot. They got two fantastic sisters that play for the Malawi national team. And I guess the Scorchers shocked defending champions Nigeria, marching into the semi-finals, securing that historic ticket to the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil, and eventually reaching that WAFCON final before Cameroon ended that fairy tale in a 3-0 win in Rabat. Well, I guess this is a story about changing mindsets, building standards, creating belief, and providing that with proper planning and unified approach, African football can produce these extraordinary results. Now, his name is Sudesh Singh, Malawi's women's national team technical advisor. It's been a long time coming, sir. Welcome to Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Good evening, Robin. Good evening to the listeners. I think maybe now you can close the show because you've said it all.
I've tried to summarize as best I could because what a journey, and congratulations.
No, thanks a lot, Rob.
I mean, when history is written, your name will be there. We might not have given them any hope. I'll go back to a quote that you said. I'll actually try and predate it, though, because sometimes people say, I know you're saying it after the fact. As far as I know, the tournament started on the 25th of July. Around about the 1st of July, which was then published on the 2nd of July, you said that Malawi has a talented group of ladies and can be a dark horse in this tournament. That was the 2nd of July. It was published. Tournament started much later. Why did you have that sense of belief?
Yeah, Rob, I think that was when I just got to Malawi. We had a pre-tournament camp there. And I think after 2 or 3 days observing the training sessions, and I think the majority of this success, you got to give it to the players, you know. I've never seen a group of players like this, Rob, who knew that they were underdogs, dark horses. You know, they never believed that they would probably even win one game, you know. And they went out there with that belief that they could take on anyone and win every game. And you mentioned the Chawinga sisters, you know, they are world-class players, those. But also, besides them, there were also other names who were fantastic. There's two young players, one Rose Kadzere, who plays for Montpellier in France, and Faith Chinzumu, who plays in Sweden, you know. Two outstanding young talent. One is 19, one is 20. So when a lot of attention is put on the Chawinga sisters, these girls pop up and they score. Against Egypt, they scored the 3 goals, you know. Yes. So when you look at the talent, and once again, I'll emphasize that the success that Malawi has achieved is due to the players. The players were absolutely fantastic on and off the field. Yes, we see the performance, but what they put the effort into training, the togetherness, the harmony, you know, the squad harmony, the cohesion in the team. I've never experienced that in all my football career, you know.
It's incredible because in just that sentence, you've covered something that is quite unique. You've mentioned 4 players who ply their trade
abroad
in Europe, right? And I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
So that 4 is all that Banyana have that's plying their trade abroad at the moment, including your Mexicos, your Denmarks, your Scotlands, etc. And obviously 2 that are playing in Mexico. So all I'm saying is that how would Malawi get it right that they have these very talented players who manage to break into the European space, I wouldn't say in such a short space of time, but given what they have in terms of talent?
Yeah, Rob, remember the Chawinga sisters have been playing abroad for many years. They first started playing in China, Sweden. Tabita, the captain, is now obviously in France with Lyon. And Temwa is in USA with Kansas City. Yes. So they've been around, they battle hardened, and they've been exposed to higher levels of training, higher levels of professionalism. And you can see how that rubs off on the other teammates. You know what surprised me, Rob? There isn't that kind of infighting or competitiveness or jealousy. Everyone listens to the two. Especially, I've never seen a captain like Tabita, and this I talk about generally male or female.
Sure.
She's so inspirational, Rob. At the end of a training session, if she notices that some players have not been pulling the weight, when we close off the training session, they normally open and start with the prayer. Mm-hmm. before they close with the prayer, she comes in hard and she says, guys, we're not here to play games. We're here to fight for the country and show the people. When we have team meetings, she motivates. I've never seen someone so inspirational. The goalkeeper had one bad game. I had a chat with Tabitha to say, try to boost the spirits. So she started having one-on-ones with her, taking her for coffee in the hotel, boosting her spirit. So she's that kind of leader. I've never seen a leader like that. Whether you can compare it in men's football or women's football, she's on another level. Her sister Temo, on the other hand, is very introverted. She's shy. But she leads on the field. She leads by action. She will chase, I don't know which game it was, from the center circle. She ran all the way back, chasing the opposition forward. And on the edge of our box, she came and scooped the ball back from her and transitioned and made an attack. So she leads by action. One sister is very vocal, outspoken, and also does the work. And you can see by the amount of goals we scored. We're the leading team with scoring goals, So when I looked at the team, together with the analyst I took, Tari Stein from UJ, before we took the assignment, we actually went through about 8 games of theirs, in the last 2 years. And we looked at it that, okay, there's an obvious strength. Attacking, they have this force, the 2 sisters, the 2 younger girls, and there's also an athlete who was at the Commonwealth Games, Asamenia.
Yes, she was in Scotland.
She missed 2 games because she was in Scotland.
Yeah.
And she's a winger, so she brings something extra. So we're looking at these 5 players who offensively, they give you so much. So I didn't focus too much of that myself and the technical stuff. So we said, what were the weaknesses in the previous games? We looked at the tapes. We saw that the defense was not very well organized, not very compact, structured. So we started working on that to get this integrated into the game model, a good compact defensive structure, and then the obvious attacking force that you have, And I think we managed to achieve that. It's a kind of a high risk, high reward kind of game. You know that you are going to go out and score goals, but you're also going to let in 1 or 2, and you can't have it perfect. You got to
high risk, high reward, high performance.
High performance.
And for you, that is something very central. I remember many years ago when a certain Ted Dumitru came into the studio back at the SABC, and he came in for an interview, and he had a book that he wanted to share with me called Maximal Training.
Yes.
And I was taken aback, just following up on the Malawi journey that you've had and the implementation of maximal training as one of the highlights of what you brought in within those 8 to 10 days before you went to Morocco while you were in camp. I mean, to the uninitiated, how would you break down that maximal training? What is it that gives off within a short period of time that benefit that we all now see with these World Cup qualifiers, Malawi?
Yeah, Rob, you're right. I've got to give a lot of credit for my own personal journey. I was privileged to be mentored by someone like Ted. He was truly a genius when you look at the success he achieved and the maximal training methodology. In very simple terms, it's about an integrated approach, multi-factor. Normally, you would train. The old style would be isolated training. If you want to improve conditioning, you'll be running or going to gyms. If you want to improve technique, you'll work. So here we integrate the game factors. And the main thing is about engaging the brain, because we realize the brain is the most important part of the body, because the brain directs everything else. So once you train the brain, everything else follows in. So you've got to, through exercises, you've got to continuously stimulate the brain. So you've got to challenge the brain so that decision making, when you go on the field, you don't need a coach shouting from the line or remote control, because you got to find, as a player, you got to find solutions on the field.
Yeah.
We can't find the solutions for you. We help you to think during training session, so that when you get to the field, you have the solutions on hand, So that's what maximal training is basically about, the technical part. But it's a more holistic, integrated system, football system.
But it also deals, again, Suresh, about allowing the brain to shut down, allowing yourself to have maximum sleep, for example. you can't just be wandering around and you pop up and you think you're going to have, such an output when you haven't given the body, the machine that is expected to train, the break that it deserves.
Absolutely, Rob. Because, the one part we mentioned was the methodology, the training methodology that's on the field. Off the field, you got to pay attention to detail. As you rightfully mentioned, your sleep, what you eat, your hydration, supplements, creatine, all kind of protein drinks, So you got to create that environment. It's a holistic, high-performance environment. You see them doing it in rugby. You see them doing it in European football. So you've got to maximize the performance of the player. You've got to use everything on hand to try to optimize that on the field and off the field. And sleep is one of the most important things. You can have a lot of things like cryotherapy and ice baths, but the best form of rest and refreshing the body to repair the body is sleep,
Regen, as you guys call it in big language when you're talking about football. All right, we can get you involved in this conversation. Also can go to the YouTube channel. Sudesh is here. When I come back from the break, though, I want to find out, how is this man who possibly will be, I don't know what his contract says, going to be going to the World Cup with the Malawian national team. As a South African, how did we miss this brain?
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
If I had to ask you if you've saved up enough for your retirement, does that make your heart rate go up? Or what if I had to ask you if your family will be looked after when you're gone? How's your heart rate doing now? Perhaps it's time to bring that heart rate down. Switch your investments and insurance to FNB and take full control of all your money matters 24/7. Help changes everything. TCs and earn rules apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited. First Rand Life Assurance Limited, a licensed life insurer. FNB Investor Services Pty Limited, an authorized financial services provider.
Light the fire this weekend with Checkers. We have everything you need to keep the braai and the geus going strong. Get pork braai chops for $58.99 per kilo. Traditional Texas-style burger patties for $139.99 per kilo. And buy a beef club or T-bone steak pack for $139.99 per kilo and get a 250ml pepper sauce free. Valid until 6 September. Only at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Success used to be about impressing everyone else. Today, it's about making smarter decisions. Choosing more value, more technology, more comfort, without paying more than you need to. That's why more South Africans are discovering Bike. The Bike X55 Plus from just $4,299 per month, and the all-new Bike B30 from $5,899 per month. Explore the range and book your test drive at bike.co.za. T's and C's apply. Bike. Drive your ambition.
I think I know that voice.
I thought this is an actor.
Rugby player.
Hyman.
Go deeper. If I had to give you a name, it would be...
Keeping a secret in Mzansi. Hey, banda. Nice try. The Masked Singer South Africa is dropping clues, tunes, surprises, and big reveals. Think you figured it out? Then prove it. Catch the Masked Singer South Africa Saturdays at 7 p.m. on SABC2. And Alex, a proud sponsor of the Masked Singer Season 3.
You hear that? That's the sound of business execution finally visible. No more chasing people and reports. No more disconnected systems. No more guessing if our business is performing or not. iStratGo connects strategy, people, performance, and day-to-day work into one clear software platform, so leaders can see what's working, what's not, and where to focus. Because when execution is visible, everything runs better. Book a demo on iStratGo.com. iStratgo.com.
People say you should stop and smell the flowers. Nobody said you couldn't buy 6 while you're at it. At Chamberlain's Blooming Goods Savings, get an assorted 6-cell seedling tray for only 29 Rand and a bag of Colterra compost for 25 Rand while stocks last. Plus friendly service and expert advice to help you choose exactly what your garden needs this spring. Visit your nearest Chamberlain from 13 August to 13 September. Stop and smell the flowers, all 6 of them. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Delve into so much about TS Galaxy with their president, Tim Suazi, who is in studio.
Pratim, I'm asking
whoever is penciling the Premier Soccer League, but team, ask him next season, I want to watch TS Galaxy and Mamelodi Sundowns 3 o'clock weekend. Tuesday situation, it must stop.
Why is TS Galaxy playing all of their games on a Tuesday? They would love it to stop. And as Maxwell was saying, what's the deal?
Look, I think he's making a point. Outside the Soweto Derby, there's a new rival in South African football, that is TS Galaxy versus Mamelodi Sundowns. And therefore, I think he's got a point that it deserves to be played on a Saturday afternoon. And strange enough, year in, year out, I think this is the third year in a row where it comes out. Our home game is always on a Tuesday night, But then, it's a system, that generates this kind of fixtures. How is it possible that it could be so consistent? I'm not sure.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Jeez, are you fooling me? All right, taking your calls. Sudesh Singh is my guest. Malawi women's national team technical advisor, also taking your WhatsApp voice notes.
Good evening, Rob. I just want to say big up to a team like Sundowns, where Sudesh started working, and now we see the likes of Bo, Rolane, Coach Mangoba, they are working in Africa. So the development at Mamelodi Sundowns is so huge to a point that now it's helping Africa. And I was very impressed with the Malawi girls, because they were beating almost everyone except in the final. But I foresee them going very far. Thanks, it's Petros from Eploke.
Hey, Petros, thank you so much indeed. What do you say to that, Sudesh?
Yeah, thanks for that. It's someone who obviously knows the history of Sundowns, especially. With Ted, I actually had two spells there, with the great 96 team with Roger Fatumba and that lot. I was coaching the reserve team, the OJ Mabizela and that crew of young players. And then in 2008, Ted and I went back. We started the Sundowns Academy, what is now well established. The first lot of Sianda Kulu, Keegan Dolly, that group of players. And we brought in a lot of, there were a lot of good coaches who also came on board, Zippo Dlangalala, Dan Malisela, Floyd Mohale, Sam Mbata, who's still there now, legendary Sam. So there was a group of like-minded coaches, because these are some of the coaches we all go way back, the original school of excellence at Esalen Park, when Ted and Neil Tovey were involved, and all the coaches, Mandla, late Mandla Mazibugu, Thabo Dladla. Yeah. So we all got schooled, and I think, Rob, that is what makes us a bit different from others. We have a sense of identity as coaches, We are pure African coaches. We admire what happens in other continents and other countries, but we believe fully in the African player, in the strengths of the African player, the skills, the creativity, and how to maximize that talent, So I think we are that group of coaches who still stick to that. There's the younger crew who's coming up. One of them is at Sundowns, Selekedi Mohale. I think he's the most successful youth coach in the country. He's the younger crew who's coming through. At Pirates, we have Kolisi Ngomazulu is there. And there's others around the country who are doing it, and not only in South Africa, around the continent. There's Vincent Piri in Botswana who's doing great work. And it spreads around. So, I like to borrow a word that Zippo always says, that we are many, but we are few. Yeah. He's another professor, unbelievable football brain, himself, Thabo Dladla, Sam Mbata, I could go on and on. So we have this tight core, and we believe in something, and we always go, forward. It comes at a huge cost, Rob, because, we don't compromise on it. And if we see there's no sense of professionalism at a certain club or environment,
you step aside.
We rather starve. It comes at a huge pain, Rob. You suffer, and it hits your family. Your kids have got to suffer. I got divorced because of football. My ex-wife couldn't handle the instability. You work, you don't work, and she had to carry the can. My kids had to drop out from university. And So it comes at a huge cost. People only see the glamorous part of it, but behind it, there's a lot of pain and suffering. You get ostracized, you get marginalized. People say, those guys, they think they know too much. We can't have them here,
But that's what I was saying before the break, that why would a brain like yours be ostracized? I mean, we've seen, and I'm very sorry that you had to go through a divorce because of what hardships football brings. And I think even a great football brain like Pep Guardiola
he got divorced recently, yes.
Has had to go through the same. And I know maybe 3 or 4 others, which does really make sense for me to mention here. After speaking to the man that I'm going to put on air, and I haven't spoken to him, seen him in such a long time, just shocked to see his name flash up on the screen. I want to go back to that, is that why did South Africa ignore you and Malawi saw what you have? But let me welcome Undade Greg Mashilo. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Robert, and good evening to Sudesh and the listeners.
Wow, so great to speak to you. Haven't spoken to you in the longest of time. I must thank Sudesh, though, for being on the show to have your voice come through.
Exactly, because now who I am today is because of the surrounding people behind me, and Sudesh is one of them.
Tell me more.
When you see me being the president of SAFCA, the South African Football Coaches Association, we have adopted that maximal training as our principal, way of doing things. And definitely, yes, we have been sidelined. Out of all the rejections, one day they will be accepted. And if this cannot be seen now because of the hardship, Sudesh is just giving you, a cherry on top. The sidelining that we received, marginalized, even people losing their jobs because they are maximal training principled critical thinkers coaches. And that's all what we say now. To support Sudesh, that issue, the hardship we went through is unbelievable, Robert. And, this discipline of maximal training, it's not an issue of saying we take some people away. It's a researched, a concept or principled, a type of methodology. And I would like to say congratulations to Sudesh to show what Malawi can do with only the technical, with the few days he had with Malawi. Had we been accepted since 2014, after introducing this to SAFA, things would have been better now for all the football in South Africa. I don't want to go more into politics, but to congratulate Sudesh for his stunning work and good job we have done, Sudesh. We are welcome here home. Maybe the doors will open for us to be able to spread the gospel of maximal training.
Greg, before you leave, let me ask you a very straightforward question. Is who's behind the sidelining of great brains like yourself and Sudesh?
Well, the people who don't know the knowledge of football. I don't want to put names in front of you before we go to a commission. But, the authorities who can give us the leeway to say, now here we are, give us the platform, let's show you this, and that will give us a lot to show.
Sorry, Greg, just a quick one. Is it SAFA?
Well, yes, it is SAFA.
Okay, let's leave it there for now. Greg, let's leave it there for now. And it's simply because of time, not because I don't want to hear what he's saying, but I wanted to get directly to it. Why would SAFA not see what potential you have? We've always known of your potential. People watch it on television every time. A lot of the newbies or whatever would have seen what you have in terms of brains of football. Why do they sideline you?
Robert, I think it's not like SAFA per se. I think it's people within the system, I think people feel threatened or they feel there's jealousy because something is not coming from them. Greg mentioned 2014. Even when Ted was alive, we had presented things to SAFA Technical Committee. We are the first people in the African continent who had designed a national playing philosophy together with the training methodology. We presented it numerous times to the technical committee at SAFA, various technical directors. I think it goes from the time of Serame until the last one, The last one before Nseki, Zippo had designed the first in Africa intensive youth coaching course under SAFCA. 20-day, it doesn't exist in African football. We even took it up to CAF. The former director of development, Raul Chipenda from Angola, even told us, he said, guys, this is what African football needs, and we don't have it. But you got to go through an FA to get it endorsed. We presented again to SAFA, nothing happened. So we are actually, by marginalizing us, we are killing football because we're not producing quality coaches.
Maybe you're too educated and you become a threat. You know, Lieutenant General Ntantla Mkhwana said something about education being very key in moving forward. Maybe they feel that whatever you've written down, which was the same thing with Carlos Queiroz, he left a document and a half here before he left for Man United, before he left for Real Madrid. And he has always said, he says, Rob, you know what, I know that thing is gathering dust in the SAFA offices, but let's hear what the people have to say.
Hi, Rob. Greetings to you and all the listeners. This is Joy from Wattville in Benoni. Rob, congratulations to the Scotias for the great job that they showed the whole world in Morocco. But then, to them, my message is they need to work extra harder now because going to the World Cup, they wanna need to be strong because all the teams have watched them. And they'll be coming hard and strong whenever they'll be playing against them. But yeah, with the performance that they showed us, I think they're gonna prove to the whole world that it was not just by luck. Thank you. Sharp.
Hi, Mr. Marawa and the team. My question to your guest is, what is more important, to try to focus on the strength of your opponent or to try to focus on your internal strength? David in Parkwood.
Hey Rob, it's Solly here again. Rob, you are having with a very good guy, the Swedish. I used to watch him on the SuperSport Soccer Africa. That man, I respect him. I think South Africa they are missing a very a good person there because of he knows how to develop players. His mentality is very strong. I think Mr. Stadish, I wish you all the best, man, and on your journey to World Cup with Malawi. We saw Malawi playing a very good football, surprising people, and after I hear that you were there, and then I started to believe that that's why Malawian team playing good football because of you are involved. Your knowledge in football it's very important. I used to listen to you the way you analyze games on Soccer Africa. That you are the man. Thank you, man. I wish you all the best. That you can do well in the Malawi. I believe the next if the contract ends in Malawi, I believe SAFA they are watching you, my man. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've been watching him. I don't think they were interested. Because of time, Sudesh, maybe a quick one that David and Parkwood mentioned is that, do you focus more on internal or opponent strength?
No, we focus on your own strengths, always.
Which is what you did with Malawi.
Always, yeah. Yeah, we do analysis on the opponent.
Yes.
But I put it like 80-20, you know. 80% you focus on your own strength. 20%, obviously, you got to know who you play and who are the key players, what's the basic tactical approach, you know. But
summary,
I think you got to focus on your strengths.
In summary, because Malawi is going to the World Cup, are you going to be a part of that?
Rob, I've got to mention the Malawi FA president, you know, Fleetwood Haya. I think these are the kind of leaders African football needs. You know, they're young, they're dynamic, they're visionary. He's the guy who had the vision to come to me and say, you know, he needs to transform the game and he wants it. So you look at people like that. There's Tariq Babitseng in Botswana, who's now the COSAFA president. I had a few words with Samuel Eto'o after the final, you know. He's a great friend of our friend Roger Fatumba. And the new breed of leaders that are coming in Africa, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, African football is really going to go to another level. You know, we just need a unified approach. You know, people working together.
Yeah.
So we can't be working in silos and have Umona. You know, we need to leave Umona. Umona is killing Africa. We must leave Umona aside and let's work together, you know.
Hey, bayashu pabantu man. Sudesh.
Hey, Umona.
No, we must put an end to that. We must come with T-shirts that Umona pants. Hashtag Umona pants. Yes, if you don't know what that means, guys, I don't know. But just go to a tap, take soap, and see how life works out when you rub those two together. It means one hand washes the other. Izandla ziyagezana. Because it's two hands, they wash each other, and the end product is exactly what we have here in front of us here. Malawi Women's National Team Technical Advisor Sudesh Singh, I know you're going to be back here on the show so that you teach us more about this beautiful game called football. Once again, congratulations. Finalists of WAFCON off to the World Cup in Brazil. You're going to be there. We'll bring the president of the Malawian FA to come speak to us here.
Yes.
Just make sure your passport is sorted out, Baba. We don't want funny things happening that side. Thanks, Baba. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks so much, Rob. And
thanks for being
good
an
luck to
inspiration.
the Springboks this weekend. I love all sport and I think we've got a genius coach there. Follow him well. I think he's one of the top coach, not just rugby. In sport, global sport, he's one of the best brains, I've been an admirer of him for many years when he was still coaching Free State,
Yeah, when he was there with his lights
yes,
at the top there.
He introduced technology,
Sure. Rasi Rasmus.
I just wish there's someone who's going to invite me for the game there this weekend.
We'll be giving away something nice on Extra Time today.
Is it?
Yeah, courtesy of Clipdrift.
Am I lucky?
I don't know. Try your luck, man. Clippy is it's going to be giving away. In fact, I can hear you sipping on something. But you're going to be giving away a 10-year-old bottle.
Yeah.
This is a collector's item. So hey, let me not give too much away. You're on standby. Sudesh, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob.
We'll be back again tomorrow. Marawa Sports Worldwide. Proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Let the game begin. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM and Soweto Live. At the same time. #MSW.
Plug in, power up,
and vibe with Bolele.
This
is the frequency
on 947.
Sing my song, so let the music
my man, Michael Gray, The Weekend, kicking things off for us on this Thursday.
Extra time with Robert Marawa and Bulele. Powered by Clipdrift. Because not every sporting moment ends with the final whistle.
Oh, what a song you chose.
Had to
wait
do
for
it.
the weekend to
Had to do
begin.
it because it's fast approaching, and this is a big weekend. It's what we call a weekend enkulu.
Oh, enkuluga, kuluga, 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 kuluga. Oh man, you know what? I just didn't want that song to end.
Yeah.
It just sets the tone, like you rightfully say, because anyone that's going to be circling around Ellis Park, you are winning. Anyone that has tickets. I don't want to reveal the people who've been asking me for tickets last minute, including our guest here who's just walked out. It's a boss. You've known for so long that this All Blacks Springbok game is going to happen. In fact, to make it worse, they played in Cape Town, they played in Durban, played in Pretoria, just to buy time that you go buy the tickets. You can't be asking us for tickets on a Thursday.
You know,
Forget
as
about
we
it.
are lastminute.com people, even
Oh.
I was busy trying to search for tickets for people. My brother has been nagging me. He's like, yo, bro, do you have tickets for me? This is a big game.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
just like, gosh, let me make some calls.
And how did those calls go?
Look, it's sold out. Even people in higher places are in tight positions.
How did
because
those calls go? Did they yield anything?
Unfortunately,
Ding.
I'm
Please
squeezing
leave a
people
message.
in tight positions. Exactly the number you have dialed is unavailable at present.
Please call again later. Oh, guys, welcome to it. I mean, South Africa. Wow. Welcome to Extra Time. It is powered by Clipdrift, as you know. As this Saturday, Ellis Park hosting rugby's greatest rivalry, Springboks versus All Blacks. But beyond the players, though, I think it's a battle of the minds, this thing. You know, Rassie Erasmus against Dave Rennie. Control versus chaos. I don't know, structure versus disruption. I think rugby at its most primal, I think I would describe it as. But it's going to be rugby, nonetheless.
Absolutely. And yeah, I guess right now the eyes are on who's going to be on the field and who is off. Already we are without Captain Siya Kolisi. And it's a bit rough there, hey? But if we look at Rassie Erasmus, I mean, he builds suffocation, kicking for territory, blitz defense, set-piece dominance. And then you look at Rennie, he thrives on breakdown chaos, slowing ball, forcing transition play as well. And look, it's a clash of philosophies, and Ellis Park is a crucible.
You know, Ellis Park's going to happen, guys, either way, because the tactics do dictate. And I think last week we were talking about Oxenchair as well as Osia being doubtful starters. And I think during the week, Rassie went on and spoke about niggling injuries, saying that these guys will make it through. They've got experience.
Yeah.
But I think he's also looking at the long term, because, yes, it's the first game. You want to be a part of it. Ox definitely made it through.
Yes, he did.
You know, well done. For Sia, I think it's the long game. He knows that it's not like a one-game event that they're going to have to play again. So if you prematurely bring back the captain and then something even more drastic happens, then what are you going to do for the rest of this, rivalry tour? So I think a good decision that has been made, and Peter Steph de Toy, given all his experience, will captain the side. And it's a big one for Dialende. 100 caps. Oh,
Yes,
Oh,
hey?
what?
Hey?
what? You know, for me, if ever there's a guy who's given his heart, soul, his ankles, his toenails to the Springbok game,
It's him.
Damian Dialende. So well done, boss. Well done. You did well.
I think another person that has all eyes on them is Sasha Feinberg and Ngomezulu, right? Especially after the game with Argentina, we saw that, man, it was a bit of a struggle, and he was, of course, coming onto the field after injury as well. So I think, eyes are on him, really just trying to see if, he's going to get us in there and help us
he
get things
has to.
done.
I think he'll settle in. He's also a young human being. And I think recovery is exactly that. We shouldn't rush it. And just one game is not going to make him the worst or the best. He is already one of the best in the world. And so take nothing away from him. I never have a problem. In fact, I get excited because the Springboks need his flair. It's that kind of flair which is unique that has seen him win the Man of the Match awards.
Absolutely.
And watching him live is also just something spectacular. What he does off the ball, the vision that he has, the kicking game that he has, knows exactly when to, go for a grubber or pop the ball over, go for touch. Whatever it is, I just think that he's such a phenomenal player. We haven't even seen the best of him, eh?
We haven't.
No.
We really haven't.
We're building towards it.
But here's the thing, right? I think Mani Libok,
Hey.
he's also in there, right? And I think what we've managed to see about him is that he's got a good eye of the game, right? He knows how to assess. He knows. But the one thing that keeps a lot of fans disgruntled,
the kicking game.
He's the king.
But you know
what advice
kids
are we
the
giving
kick.
Coach Rassi at this point, eh? Or the boys in general?
I just think Mani Libok is such a talented player.
He is.
And I know that when everybody like, shh. So remember the tips we were giving last week?
Yes.
When the kick's about to happen, shh.
Yes.
Give the respect. But you can feel the tension, man. You can almost feel like people are saying, he's going to miss again. And I think that's what messes up with his mindset, and then the countdown clock kicks in and it's about 5 seconds left and then he wants to quickly rush it, and when you rush those kicks it's going to go wayward. But he's such a thinker, and he is one of the replacements on the weekend. Great player. I just think South Africans need to be patient with him.
Yeah, man, and extend grace. But hey, with a game like this, there's very little grace.
There is very little grace. But the coach has always believed in him regardless of what so-called experts say, commentators say, rugby analysts or fans. He has said, you know what, Mani Libok is a Springbok player. I know what he can deliver. I know what he can deliver. Running the ball, it doesn't have to be, a dead ball situation like when he does have to go for poles. So, hey, money, must be sunny, and let's make it happen.
Someone that had something to say, though, was Malcolm Marx, right?
Yeah.
And he was actually just recapping on his first test game against New Zealand. And this is what he had to say.
I think as a little boy, you always dream or hope to hopefully represent your country one day. And at that stage, representing your country against back then the best team in the world, getting to experience that, experiencing it in Super Rugby, but at an international level is a whole nother level. And if I'm selected for this weekend, then obviously I'll try and grab the opportunity with both hands and give everything that I can, not just for myself and my family, but for the country as well. I wouldn't say more intense, but we've always said it, we treat each test match the same. We know the magnitude of what this series is, and we know how big this weekend's game is going to be, and obviously we're trying to prepare accordingly. I don't think I'll tell you how we'll try and stay on top of it. But yeah, we're working really hard at it. We're obviously doing a lot of analysis and seeing where we can be better from previous games, and obviously seeing the threats that they bring in that aspect of the game. So working really hard at the things that we need to improve on, and obviously bearing in mind the small things that they do around the breakdown. Obviously looking where there's opportunity for us as well. But yeah, we've worked really hard at it the past week and last week. So yeah, we'll see how the weekend goes if I'm selected.
You know, if there's one thing that I love about the Springboks, from Coach Rassi all the way down to the team, is how honest they are walking into any game, right? I think after being a 4-time world champ, there would be, a little chip on your shoulder and you're just feeling like, we got this. But they understand the unpredictability of the game.
Yeah. You know what? You're so spot on, though, because those words still linger in my mind. That last sentence, it says, if I am selected.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? If I'm selected,
yeah.
What is your name? Your name is Balkan Box. And you're going to be looking at a breakdown battle that's going to be so decisive on Saturday with Jason Ryan in the forward pack. So that's the kind of thing that the world's going to be looking out for. That level of experience you can never find anywhere, and you're absolutely right. And I think it's something, humility, that has been inbred, ingrained in them for the longest time. And you got a guy like Rassi Erasmus who says, I see who you are, your talents, but it's not about you bragging and boasting about it. Let the public be the judge of that. And that's why this team has stayed so solid, won back-to-back World Cups, because they know their place.
Absolutely, and their head continues to stay in the game. Malcolm was also asked about Ellis Park, and he said something that is actually quite real about the representation of what Ellis Park is for the game of rugby.
I wouldn't just say the one stadium, to be honest. I think the whole of South Africa is our fortress, to be honest. Doesn't matter where we play, who we're playing against. Like I said before, we prepare the best that we can. And we know we're not just representing ourselves and our families. We've got 65 million people that we're trying to represent, and represent them the best that we can on the day.
Recognizing that also just tells you the kind of mentality that they walk onto the field with.
Well, in 1995, where were you?
I'm still trying to find my feet.
But at least you were
trying
born.
to figure out if I can do this walking thing or not.
But at least you were on this earth. Hey?
I was.
You were here already. So when he talks about Ellis Park being this fortress, his mind goes back to, the Jonah Lomos of this world, the late, and what he was able to do back in those days when the Springboks won that Rugby World Cup. And sentimentally and otherwise, there's so many players that aren't with us today that are part of that team. That I can imagine Rassi sitting through on a Friday after captain's practice and saying, guys, let's go back to 95. Let's go watch that video. Let's see what that meant, including the Madiba Magic and Francois Pinard and everybody else that was part and parcel of that. And maybe that will dawn on you how great a task this is when you fast forward to 2026. So for me, those words from Malcolm Marx, the rest of the boys, guys, it's a big one.
No, and we're backing you, hey.
Oh.
We are backing you. We're coming out in numbers. Tickets are already sold out.
As you know.
And now we are looking for fan parks. We are looking for restaurants. We are just looking for somewhere to watch the game so that we are there sending the right energy to the boys. Because if there is one thing to be known about the All Blacks, is that the Springboks need all the energy we can send their way, right?
I mean, the flag is already flying in studio.
It really is. It really is.
It's flying for the Springboks. And maybe you can describe to someone who's not watching the YouTube channel, what I'm wearing, because I came prepared today.
So, Robert Marawa is draped in a green and gold Rugby World Cup France 2023 jersey. Woo! With 1995, 2007, and 2019 on the right arm.
On the right arm.
And then the Springbok on the left arm.
Yes.
Oh, no, we are in for a treat. Eh?
No, we've dug deep here. And that is why I think from a lifestyle perspective, because that's what we love about the show. We give you the facts in terms of the rugby. Then we say, and we stretch it quite a bit though, and say, guys, listen, rugby is also a lifestyle sport. There are people that go there who know nothing about rugby. They just say, the Boks are playing. We want to be there. We want the tickets to be there.
That's true.
So that's why we're trying to urge everybody about, hey, the perfect Springbok Saturday. What does that look like for you? And Bulele, we normally invite a guest or two on a Thursday.
Yes.
So today we decided we're inviting all of you who are listening to the show to be our guests. So you can call us, send us WhatsApp voice notes, and tell us about what this weekend really means to you. Are you going to be like myself, rock that Bok jersey, green and gold scarf? What are you going to be doing? Going full supporter mode? What is your vibe? Tell us.
Let us know on 066-381-8609. Also, what's the one thing you're looking forward to most when it comes to a game between the Springboks and the All Blacks? I'll tell you what I often look forward to.
Oh, the haka.
The haka. Oh, my gosh. Before I actually became a person that has an interest in the game, I would always just be like, hey, stand back, stand back, stand back, stand back. This is it. Exactly. Here's another thing that I look forward to.
Oh, Mendoza Banza.
When this one plays, it's either the game is really tough and we need all the energy, or the game is going real well and we need to celebrate.
We are on that high, but
Yeah.
there's also a new one. Oh, I don't know when last you went to watch rugby, but there's a new one which I was very surprised by. I'll tell you about it because it's got some words there.
Okay.
But it's very, very popular. You just hear the beat and everybody loses their mind. But the impact that Mendoza had with Nkalakata.
Yeah,
Whichever way
massive.
you pronounce it, whether it's Nkalakata. Whichever one it is. Hey, man, Nkalakata is here to stay, guys.
Yeah, man. Also, let us know what the vibe will be like if you're not finding yourself at the stadium, right? Are you going to be inviting friends over? Are you cooking? Are you frying? What's on the menu? All right, let us know on 066-3818-609.
The game after the game, extra time with Robert Marawa and Bulele. Powered by Clipdrift on 947.
Not for persons under the age of 18.
What happens if we let this start? We go too far and you just don't feel it. What happens if you drop my heart? If it falls too hard and we just can't put it back? Best friends don't sit this close. Inside jokes, spending all this time alone. Best friends don't call at 2. Sometimes they do, but not let me and you. I'ma say some things I might regret. Pathetic. Is it in my head? I'm in the mood, I'll say it true. Whatever, I want you, but what happens if we let this start? We go too far and you just don't feel it. What happens if I drop your heart and it falls too hard and we just can't put it back together? Back to what we had. Wouldn't it be sad to end like that? What happens if you drop my heart? If it falls too hard and we just can't put it back? Question after question, wonder if we moving in the same direction. What I wanna say might change your complexion. I'ma do it even though it's kinda selfish. I can't help it. Think it's in my head. I'm in the mood, I'll say it true. Whatever, I want you, but what happens if we let this start? We go too far and you just don't feel it. What happens if I drop your heart and it falls too hard and we just can't put it back together? Back to what we had. Wouldn't it be sad to end like that? What happens if you drop my heart? If it falls too hard and we just can't put it back? What happens if we What happens if I drop your heart? Drop your heart. Wouldn't it be sad to end like that? What happens if you drop my heart? If it falls too hard and we just can't put it back?
It's Shekinah with questions on 947.
Extra time with Robert Marawa and Bulele. Powered by Clipdrift. Because not every sporting moment ends with the final whistle.
I'm looking at the voice notes here and I'm saying to myself, my goodness, is the entire South Africa or Africa actually listening to the show right now? Inundated is an English word that probably best describes what's going on.
Absolutely. Everybody is just super excited about being at Ellis Park or just watching the game this coming weekend. And we want to know what the vibe is going to be like for you and where you will actually be watching. Are you the one that was lucky enough to get your hands on tickets? Or are you one of those that's just like, yo, mfana?
Last minute.
Please, make a plan. And if that plan is not coming together, what is the plan? Because we can't not watch this game, right? Let us know on 066-3818-609.
I am that person that sat on pre-sale fighting for my life to get tickets for this game. So yes, I will be not far. I will be 3 rows from the field on Saturday in my old school Bokke shirt and my Bokke flag, ready to support my boys. Yes, I've got my boyfriend coming, my best friend coming, my parents are coming. I am so pumped for this weekend. Please look out for me on the TV.
Oh, girl, we will.
She's 3 rows from the front.
This is what I call a planner.
But
a person that has their life put together.
Well, do you know how expensive those tickets are?
Of course.
You can hear the guys breathing. You can hear the instructions that are coming through.
Yep.
If it's a coolish evening, you can actually see that steam coming through from a scrum.
Yep. She risked it all.
For the whole family.
For the whole family. And I heard her say, boyfriend, whoa. Why? Where's the ring? At this point, we need to be experiencing some sort of proposal there at Ellis Park.
It should happen at Ellis Park.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. But also let us know, what are some of the things that you enjoy about the rugby game, right? Whether you are at the stadium, whether you're at home watching it, or you are just, creating a good environment for you and your people to understand what a game of rugby means to us as South Africans. You can call us. Maybe you want to sing a quicho. 011 8838 947. Do you understand?
Oof, the power of that.
Yeah.
The power of that. And it's one of those things that I think also, having been to the last Rugby World Cup in France, and I was saying to people, we should get to a stage now where we are able, as a country, to sing something that everybody can, like an anthem of some sort.
Yeah.
Because people try Shosholoza, then they get to the words now that they don't know, then it fizzles out. Like, can we get to a point where we have something extremely powerful? If you can't Shosholoza, then let's take it to the next level. And Kwicho is one of those, and
Absolutely.
You hear it, and it's from the heart, man. It's beautiful, because when you were playing Kalagata, and I said there's another hit song. So the last time when I was at the Wales game at the Hollywood Beds Kings Park Stadium, when they play this hook, well, the people lost their minds. I think they lost the Boerewors role that they were holding.
Sister Bettina.
Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, oh.
No, I understand why that Boerewors role got lost somewhere in the crowd.
I got lost.
Because this song causes mayhem. Complete mayhem. My goodness. Where will you be this coming weekend as we witness rugby's greatest rivalry?
Hi, Rob and Bulele. This is Gifting Kosien Extension 4 Snake Park in Soweto. Oh, I really want to watch the whole game, but the problem is they're starting the very same time with my team, Orlando Pirates. So what I will do, I won't watch it at home. I'll go. There's a certain place in Soweto that I know that I can go there, and then there will be big screen. The other one will be the Boke, and then the other one will be on Orlando Pirates. Then I will be just like this. My eyes will be checking this screen and that other one because of same time with my favorite team.
A national team must take preference, eh?
I agree.
Hey.
I agree.
Gift.
But look, he's a man with a plan, hey? He's deciding that he's going to split his eyes in one way or another.
Well, he can. He's at Snake Park. So what do you do at Snake Park?
So he's got a plan. But here's what I want to do, right? For the people that are going to possibly find themselves watching the game at home, there needs to be some nice good things there when you are watching the game at home, man. So let's do this, right? Your trivia for a clip drift hamper is this. All right, and we'll send it to you so you can watch that game and have the time of your life. Which two coaches go head-to-head at Ellis Park this coming Saturday? All right, let us know on 066-381-8609. You stand a higher chance to win if you send a voice note, okay? And you'll just walk away with an amazing clip drift hamper. 066 381 Which two coaches go head to head at Ellis Park this coming Saturday? And this could be yours, man.
Love Thursdays. I love.
Oh, my favorite.
Are we able to give a hint in terms of maybe everybody will know the South African coach?
Yes.
But maybe not the All Blacks.
So, what hint would you like to give us there?
You know, when you've had too much of the braai and the pap and the chakalaka and everything else, then your tummy starts doing funny things. Ne? And then they always tell you that
You
go
must buy
and
this.
buy this.
Oh, that is a good enough hint, man. Oh, that is a good enough hint. Get those answers to come in right now. 066 381 But on the back of that, man, I think another thing that just has a lot of people celebrating, a lot of people with their eyes wide open, is the same but Clippies campaign, right? Listen.
When you talked about it the first time, I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Then I went to the Instagram page and I saw it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, man, this must be AI.
I know.
But then
right?
when you go to the family photos, you're saying it can't be AI because this was before AI.
Exactly.
So this is the person.
Exactly.
You know, so the impact of this then leads us to whatever's going to be happening over the weekend.
Yep.
Because we are giving away something really magical, guys. I mean, it's rugby's greatest rivalry, powered by the most legendary tasting brandy, which is Klipdrift. And like we said, if you aren't thinking a couple of brandy and cokes while watching Bokke, then what on earth are you even doing? 100%. Are you even a Bokke fan? I don't know. We got to question you on some of those things and the decisions that you have to make. But let's celebrate it, guys. Send those voice notes. Call us. We want to find out. Today, no guest in studio. You are the guest. You are telling us what's going to be going down.
Absolutely, man. I wonder, and I've wondered for a while because I recently found out that I have a doppelganger. I have someone that looks like me. Or apparently I look like a couple of people, and I'm just like, ooh.
Who is she?
Okay. Ooh.
Who is she? Is this somebody that we know?
Yeah, someone the other day said to me, you look like Stella Shozi. Do you know Stella Shozi?
Yeah.
She's one of the judges on the Masked Singer South Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you agree, though?
If you look fast. And that's the thing, like with doppelgangers, you just have to look fast. And, and when you look back, then it's just like, oh, I thought you were.
But you've met her?
I've never met her before.
Can we make it happen?
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
Then the public will decide.
Then they will decide,
Yes.
right?
It's as simple as that, just like the competition.
Then they will decide. They really will decide. But I've been told that I look like her. Someone came running up to me the one time thinking that I was her, and they're like, hey, Chomi. And I'm just like, hi. And it's like, oh my gosh, I thought you were my friend.
Hi, Chomi. Maybe you should try that. It's better than saying, hi, Chief.
Right? It really is. But that's the thing with the same but Clippies campaign, right? Clippies keeps the content flowing. If you go to their Instagram page, like Robert was saying, you will like have to look twice and think, no man, is this AI? Am I dreaming, right? And the one thing is they've got the content coming right through. At one point, they are also training for the game. They've got mock lineups to pre-game one-liners, and their socials are actually quite true celebration of rugby and brandy, and we all know without that clip drift the game is incomplete.
No, it
really
is, guys.
Incomplete.
No, it is. And that's why with Clip Drift, guys, that's why we're saying that we've announced the limited edition 10-year bottle. It is Springbok themed. I think it's like intricately, we saw it last week.
Yes.
It's intricately designed, that bottle. It's something, it'll blow your mind away. And also celebrating all 4 of the Box World Cup wins. I only got 3 on my sleeve right now.
We need an update there.
We need an update.
Yes, we do.
We've seen that jersey. We're coming very closely to it. But it's also exclusively at Pick and Pay Liquor or on Twainle.
Pick and Pay ASAP. Yeah, the delivery app. Yeah.
But stocks are limited, as you would imagine. And as the kids say, that run, don't walk.
Yes, please.
If you want to collect all 4.
Yes, please. All right, get those responses in for our trivia on 066 381 I think Robert gave us a really great clue when it comes to the All Blacks coach, right? Which two coaches go head to head at Ellis Park this Saturday? All right. And if you get this correct, you can walk away with a Clip Drift hamper. Oh, and you're going to need it this weekend. You are going to need it, whether the game is good or whether the game is not so great. You are going to need it. All right. So get those responses in. You can call us as well on 011 88 38 947.
Your weekly sporting debrief, powered by Clip Drift. Extra time with Robert Marawa and Bulele on 947.
Not for persons under the age of 18.
How did you know I was hoping for a sign? My heart was so close to closing time. Something about you hit me like a freight train to the chest door. The day we met, oh, my loneliness left the room the second that you walked in. Something like a fever dream. Haven't slept in weeks. I think I'm seeing things like a shadows dancing us out of our clothes. I'll be damned if you love me, damned if you don't. Maybe it's fate, maybe it's fate. Told you I ain't no liar. Watching you leave, on in my dreams, baby. It hit me like a freight train to the chest. The day we met, my loneliness left the room the second that you walked in. Something like a fever dream. Haven't slept in weeks. I think I'm seeing things like a shadow dancing us out of our clothes. I'll be damned if you love me, damned if you don't. One foot on the edge, that silhouette, I can't forget. Something about you hit me like a freight train to the chest. The day we met, my loneliness left the room the second that you walked in. Something like a fever dream. Haven't slept in weeks. I think I'm seeing things like a shadows dancing us out of our clothes. I'll be damned if you love me, damned if you don't.
We're counting down the days to the release of his sophomore album, the 28th of August, Wild Child. It's Alex Warren with Fever Dream on 947.
Extra time with Robert Marawa and Bulele. Powered by Clip Drift. Because not every sporting moment ends with the final whistle.
Certainly doesn't end with the final whistle, does it, guys? And a big up to Damian Dielendi, becoming the 10th player in history to earn 100 test caps for South Africa when the Bucks are going to be meeting the All Blacks this weekend. And also just two players who retain their places in that starting 15 from that Argentina test, which the Bucks won 17-10. Eben Etzebeth at lock, and also Sasha Feinberg Mgomezulu at fly half. And also 7 players from the clash of the Buenos Aires one. Hey, all of them being included on the bench. So, hey, guys, listen, we could go on and on. That's how excited we are. We're excited to receive so many calls with the competition. Bulele?
Yes, the question is on the table. Which two coaches go head to head at Ellis Park this coming Saturday? Do you have the right answer? Well, let's find out. Lerato, my dear, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So tell us, where are you going to be watching the game?
I will be at home. It's going to be a bright, it's going to be lit, it's going to be a lot of fun, but I'll definitely be at home.
Okay, so you definitely need this Clip Drift, eh?
No, she said something.
Yes.
It's going to be lit. Lerato,
Yes.
what's going to be lit,
So
the fire or you?
I need the Clip Drift so I can invite everyone, and the party's going to be at my home.
Please invite us. The way you so confidently said that, I'm like, okay, I'm imagining now, how's Lerato going to manage?
I've got this.
Okay. No, I've got hope. I've got faith in you, Michael. Okay, so bring that faith all the way through and give us the answer. What is it?
Yes, So for our home Springboks, that would be Rassi Erasmus, Yamazmus.
Yes,
and
Yamaz.
then the All Blacks, we've got Uday Rennie. Yeah, and that's my final answer. I'm locking it in.
Confidence.
No, Lerato. Ufundile, girl. Ufundile. You don't need to go and fetch your school fees. It did its job.
I made sure. And we're not scared of them. I know that haka is a thing of doing things, but we're not scared. We've done many things. I mean, we've got World Cups back to back.
That is so true, man.
And where do you say you're phoning us from, Lerato?
I'm phoning you from Joburg East.
From Joburg East. So that is what, East Rand? Which
More
Joburg
the
East?
northeast, a nice place called Sydenham.
Oh, Sydenham. Oh, excuse us. That's a very expensive sounding name.
I was about to say it sounds so expensive. That's why she's hosting. That's why everybody's coming to her house.
And we've added a clip drift. What is it? The whole case is this expensive 10-year-old. Yeah. Listen, we don't want to mess around with your part. You want to add value.
Okay.
Hey. Whoa, I don't know. Is it too little for you? What do you think?
No, that's more than enough. I'm definitely hosting. Invites shall go out tonight.
Okay, don't forget to send one to us here, ne? So that we can also come through to the party.
We have a deal. We do.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for playing, Lerato. Well done and enjoy it, man. It's going to be lit, like you were saying.
Thank you to both of you and the wonderful show. I'm totally loving it.
Oh, we love you, girl.
Thanks, Lerato. Enjoy it, man. Wow. What's the sound of that? Just to give Lerato a little bit of a teaser, though, because sometimes people don't believe us. And people stop me and say, guys, listen, this thing that you do on a Thursday and you're telling us you're giving away cases of this and that, is that a real thing?
It's a real thing.
That's present.
You know, I love the sound on a Thursday, but it also puts me through the most because it's not Friday yet.
And you have a show to do.
And I still have a show to do.
And if you do other things like Lerato and be lit, hey.
Then hey, man.
We're
there's
lighting
a lot
up your
at risk.
contract.
Exactly.
We're going to start the fire of the braai with your contract. It's going to be over for you. Guys, listen, it's time for Rugby Sideline Savvy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's your weekly segment where, we give you tips on how to be a pro supporter. And this week's tip, though, is own the silence before the scrum. Why do we do this? I think the forwards need to focus. The referee also kind of needs his clarity. And the tension is part of that theatre that rugby produces. So, hey, save the raw for when the ball emerges. That's when Ellis Park should erupt. It's as simple as
Absolutely.
that.
And we know that scrums are the heartbeat of South African rugby, man. So let's respect the pause, then unleash the passion. And that's how, of course, you make rugby's greatest rivalry unforgettable.
We cannot wait.
Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Plus, we have some of this in there. No, it's going to be nice.
Guys. Are we jealous, man? Listen, from Malcolm Marx's reflections, as you heard earlier on Ellis Park's Fire and Clip Drip's Flavor, this is finally, it's arrived, rugby's greatest rivalry, where sport meets lifestyle. And with Clip Drift, as you know, rivalry tastes legendary. The funny thing about greatest rivalry is try asking somebody who's had a few of the product after the game to say rivalry.
No, please. If you are going to be at the game, whip out your phone, record that, ask someone to say it, send it to us, and we'll hear
play it
next week how it sounds.
The biggest sporting moments of the week deserve some extra time. Powered by Clip Drift on 947.
Not for persons under the age of 18. When we're cracking up together on Anele and the Club.
Is this like a Blackberry? No.